Right, so we're back down at Volvo Automotive for part 2 of the clutch install on the E60 M5. I now have the correct one as opposed to whatever that one was in the previous video. Got exchanged, that definitely confirms it there. Have an Aston and a hash there.
Day 7 on the E60.
Day 7, you know. Now the flywheel has been removed, and as you can see there's plenty of heat spots on there. Here's the new one. Pretty noticeable difference, I would say. We also have taken out the rear main seal as well, which, yeah, and there's the new one. And we've also decided to get a new pilot bearing, so that's already been removed. There's probably some overlays on the screen. There's the clutch from the previous video. Now I know we were joking about how the burnout destroyed the clutch, but I just want to mention one thing. The car's got 71,000 miles on it. I don't know about the previous owner's driving. There's obviously some prior wear. At the end of the day, you do a clutch in most cars, so it's no big deal. It's a bit accelerated, but that's just what it is. We also have got new clutch bolts as well, which are from the dealership. And this is how a release bearing should look like, as opposed to that split thing, which we saw previously. The gearbox is somewhere. There it is. So that's what a destroyed release bearing looks like. It's just sitting like that. And yeah, we've got the new fork, new slave cylinder, the guide sleeve as well for the release bearing. And yeah, the pin and all these little bits. Probably going to hang this on my wall when I get home. But yeah, what we'll do, we'll get the car up in the air and continue. Okay, so here's a look at it without the flywheel and the rear main seal and the pilot bearing. Now there is one other thing that I noticed when doing some research online, and we mentioned it a bit in the previous video. These paint marks are actually there from factory, so the ones on the clutch plate are supposed to be the opposite side to the sort of markings you see on the flywheel. I believe there's a mark in here, so here it is, a black mark. Getting the new pilot bearing in.
New bearing in, then we'll get the crankshaft seal in as well.
Yep.
Main oil seal. That's all nice and clean.
Yeah, so this is something just worth doing while something's off. Oh yeah, that's another thing. This is day 2 of the heat wave in the UK, so it's already like 35 degrees and it's what? Let's have a look at the time. So yeah, this video might end up being a bit more slower than usual, whilst my brain adapts, but should be all good. We'll get you the content that we need to. New rear main going in. Comes with this kind of green sleeve thing. There you go, mate.
Thank you.
Fancy flywheel tool. So next we're getting this on, right?
Yep, get the flywheel on.
There you are. Okay, so that locking tool there holds it in.
Yeah.
That's a T60, right?
T60, yeah.
Yeah.
It's got to be shaved down, otherwise it doesn't fit in the arc.
Yeah. Yeah, so you can either get like this BMW Specialist tool, or you could just modify a T60 you have. 10 Nm for the clutch.
Yep. Flywheel, 105.
105. Okay, so now that the flywheel's all in, next stage is to put the clutch in. We've got a specialist tool for this, haven't we?
Yes, so this basically aligns both clutch plates together, holds it in place, and then even aligns it into the flywheel as well.
And then you get some instructions in the box which basically tell you how to remove all the transit support, because these come balanced from the factory. So yeah, that's how a new E60 M5 clutch looks like, as opposed to what that is. It actually has material on it.
There you go.
Oh, is that just released it just like that?
Yep. So the weight of it brings it down and locks it into place.
So then that whole piece is just basically ready to go in like that?
Yep. So this mark's got to line up with this mark, and the lines have got to be opposite. This is just a number.
Okay.
Whereas the lines go all the way down.
Okay.
Which indicates the line of where it's supposed to be opposite to the flywheel.
Right, so we're just torquing this up. This is all very technical, just doing stuff to 10 Nm. Even though I just do stuff like this in every video. There'd be this just talking spark plugs. Like, yeah, it's 23 exactly.
I'm doing 10mm bolts with a 1/2 inch gun.
Yeah, this has quite a beefy click for a small torque wrench.
Yeah.
Normally they have just like a different type of click. My face is just in, I'm just looking at cats. There we are. Clutch bolts all in, all new. So next we're going to be removing the fork, as we said.
Yep.
Which has already, well, I pulled it off in the previous shot.
Off already.
Yeah, so as you can see, there's the end of the ball pin. Now that's the guide sleeve there, which is shown on the table. So it looks like there's 4, are they 10s?
10mm, yep.
Here's a new one. Nice and scored. Straight back in, pretty much.
Straight back in.
Next is the slave, right?
Yeah, so we'll undo the pipes from the outside.
Yeah.
There's one banjo bolt there. And then remove the sensor there.
Mm-hmm.
Now we can undo it from the inside and remove it.
And there's the old slave cylinder. The new slave cylinder going in. All right, okay, I got you. Final piece of the puzzle. That's not split in half. Nice. Right, so now that that's all done, time to get the gearbox lined up again, but this thing weighs 82 kilos, I believe.
That was about 82 kilo, I reckon.
Yeah? Yeah?
I believe.
Yeah, 82, yeah, I believe, yeah. All this information is off Google, so I can't vouch for its accuracy, but it's a heavy box compared to like a Golf or something.
Wouldn't go compared to the game.
Yeah, good leg workout that.
Yeah.
If someone asked what set did you say, oh, just pumping up an SMG box, that was legs today.
My leg day.
Yeah. So yeah, at this point it's pretty much a reverse of what we showed in the previous video, in the little montage. So get this all on, get the prop back on, and I'll go from there. Right, okay, so sometime later, everything's all back together, exhaust is on, all the under trays are on, heat shields, the lot. Just a quick little glance of the current temperature in here, so it's 40.5 degrees C, which for those of you who live in a desert, it's probably not much, but for the UK, it's pretty up there for Luton anyway. Ash there, who's just had enough of this E60 now. But we're in the final stages, mate, we're in the final stages.
The end is near.
The end is near. Aston, who's wearing a scarf in this weather, I mean, I don't understand the logic there.
Cooling towel.
Yeah, I'm sure, mate. I'm sure, mate. I'm sure. So yeah, we're just gonna get the car down now, plug into a scanner and see what's what. You do basically have to tell the car it has a new clutch in there. There's a few different adaptations and whatnot, but I've not done it before, so we'll have a look in a second. The Eisenman exhaust, which we experienced for a very limited amount of time previously. So we're going to give it a go with this auto scanner here. So it's got a few different selections. Got after clutch replacement, after just a slave cylinder, after removal of, well, you can read it there, so reinstallation of clutch but no other components. And this seems to say just the components. Okay, we'll try. I taught as part of the next step, terminal on, engine off. Do you want to teach? Yeah, let's teach the car. You can learn, lad. It's doing something. It's priming it. Teaching clutch not ended correctly. Disengagement position is out of tolerance. Just gonna have a good look through this system here, and I'll let you know if it all goes to plan. Little update. The car is just bonging into eternity. We're getting some disengagement adaptation error. It's literally just carrying on. Even if you turn it off, it'll just continue. So I'm surprised this car hasn't run out of bongs. It's just been going for like 20 minutes straight. Yeah. Okay, so this here is saying it takes up to 4 minutes. And it is bleeding the slave cylinder. And then once that's done, we can theoretically do the whole clutch adaptation. Right, so a noise has left us.
Yes. Leave that, we've got used to it, we can't hear it now.
Yeah, just completely deaf just from E60 bonging noises. But it said on there that the clutch teaching was successful, so
Yeah, so that's all done, we've gone through all of that.
so next we need to do what, the slipping point.
So now we're going to do the tech-in teaching.
Checking.
I don't know, that's what.
Transmission in neutral, engine on at run up. So now it should last to turn on. Oh, look at that. Eisenman cold start. It sounded like there was no exhaust on then.
Engine off, ignition on.
In theory now, are we done in terms of...
We are done, but just a quick one here, you can see it gives you the before and after.
Okay.
So the characteristics of before when the clutch was absolutely mullered.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
now the characteristics after the reset, so you can see the values are a lot higher compared to what they were before.
Okay, Eisenman cold start. Well, sort of cold. That's not cold. It's still loud though. See if it reverses out. There you go. See, it's working so far. I moved an inch. Yeah, it doesn't seem that cold. The 335 one's definitely better than that. We are moving again in the E60 without destruction noises. I got some dust in my eye then. Yeah, so it's in gear shift for us E1 in D. I think there is get that, there's a spider web just hanging off for dear life there. And I believe there's a 500 or 600 mile braking period for the clutch. Don't worry, I'm not going to do anything silly.
I think we might have to adapt it again when you do the bedding and stuff.
Yeah.
So same as like the DCTs when we do clutches and nose. There's a running procedure for that, about 300 to 500 miles.
Right.
And then we'll reset the gearbox again to the adaptations of where the clutches are warmed to.
I forgot how loud this Eisenman is. It's quite drony. That's smooth compared to before. Yeah, so how's it pulling away? Say if we put it into highest ferocity, so that's 5. So if you used to pull away, that is smooth.
Nuts.
Yeah, that's an improvement from before, because even when I got the car it wasn't a totally smooth SMG. You can wear out the clutch in the SMG just by leaving it in auto and second gear, because the car never defaults to first half the time, so when you're sort of creeping it'll be in second and you can get a lot of wear. Imran was also mentioning this to me as well about E60s when he had his. He goes, a lot of people don't realise that you can wear it from that. So I suspect that was the case, because everything on this car was set to comfort when I got it. Give us a couple of downshifts. Yeah, spot on that. Can't wait to enjoy this non-working AC. Right, so it's the next day, we're back at home. The car made it back flawlessly, there was no problems. SMG felt very smooth, but there were a few situations where it was slipping on upshift, but I boiled that down to it needing more bedding in time. But then I started this morning and I was greeted with the red cog of death. I'm going to try it now. That was a few hours ago. Let's see if it's returned. It's weird because the car drives totally fine. That cold start. When I put it into reverse earlier, that's when it happened. Right now there's nothing. I've closed the bonnet so we can actually move the car. Put it into drive first. Okay, let's see if it moves. Okay, no issues there. It's dying to tell me it needs fuel. Reverse. It's back to normal again. So it would seem that the red cog has left us, which is I suppose a good thing. It did definitely happen in the morning, so I don't know what's going on there. I read some people saying it could be down to a weak battery, maybe because it's been off for a few days, but even then it was off straight away again this morning and it's been off for a few hours, so I have no idea, folks, I'll be honest. The main thing is it's working right now, so we'll end the video here on a high note. If you enjoyed today's video, make sure you drop a like on it, also subscribe for a lot more content to come, and yeah, I'll see you in a few days time for the next one. Okay, little post outro clip. Decided to get ISTA out. I'm going to read the fault codes and see what it shows. A bunch of errors, most of them are not existent, so they're from before. At the minute, the only ones that are showing are this AUC sensor, whatever that is, and coolant thermostat monitoring. Yeah, I think most of it doesn't actually mean much. It's just probably stuff that once it's reset it'll go away. But yeah, car's fine for now.